BRAY ME. If there is one band who I feel like I've got a personal sense of inbuilt hype for, it's BRAY ME. And you know what? I don't know much about this band. I haven't heard anywhere near enough to have any opinion on them, and yet I've got massive hype for BRAY ME. Why? Well, okay, so this is a group who've definitely had a degree of success, and I believe I know at least one of the members from another band. But the thing is that when you look at the bands who they perform with, the circles that they hang around with, it's a lot of the bands who I have massive respect for. Now, obviously, they've built up a good reputation. If you go to a lot of live houses in Tokyo, you walk down the stairwells, you can probably imagine it. You see the posters for bands who've performed there before. Almost every single one of them will have a BRAY ME poster somewhere, which is really cool. So you really feel their presence in the music scene around here. But the bands who they've performed live with and they've shared shows with, Folia, at the moment they've got a show coming up, I believe, with Folia. They're obviously good friends with Folia, who are legends of the underground scene here. Recently they signed to the Amuse agency, who you might know for other things like Perfume and Baby Metal. So yeah, they've signed to that agency who are helping with them, and it's so great to see them taking off, massively deserved. But they are friends of BRAY ME, unsurprisingly. But also, BRAY ME are friends with Trident, and they've done several shows with them. Good friendship seeming to exist between these bands, and these are bands who I have a lot of respect for. Obviously, you look at Folia and Trident; they've done stuff like the Gibson Epiphone replay thing. That's interesting, considering they're both Gibson bands. I'm wondering whether we're going to see BRAY ME playing some Gibsons in this. But look, therefore, as you can imagine, I just feel like this is a group. I see their posters in the live houses, I see them performing with bands that I love, and so the fact that I haven't really had a chance to get into them is just a case of time. So many busy, so many other things, so many recommendations, so many other bands who I've had to follow up on, and BRAY ME is just one of those ones I want to get to know them. But we're always honest on this channel, and considering that amount of hype, I feel like they have more of the hill to roll down with me than to climb up. So I'm a little bit concerned that maybe I'm so hyped for this that that's a bad thing, but we're about to find out. Now, this song is called Borderline. It is written in Japanese, but I promise you that is what it says until someone comes along and corrects me and goes, no, Howard, that's not correct. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. It's called Borderline. It is 4.5 minutes long, and it starts with an aerial drone shot, which means that they're taking their music videos seriously. You buy a drone, that means you're taking it very seriously. Anyway, BRAY ME, let's go. And they got nearly 25,000 subs as well. So again, like I say, they are doing well. It's one of those ones where I feel like I haven't picked up on them anywhere near as much as I should. So fingers crossed. I am genuinely excited for this. Genuinely excited. Let's go. Expecting to see Trident running along pushing a car. That's kind of a nice pop rock start. Now that is a beautiful voice right there. Cinematography in this is beautiful, by the way. I should be concentrating more on the music, but it's a beautiful video. Oh, that's a nice little flip up there. I thought it was just going to be like a straight melodic chorus, and then adding that bit at the end really nicely caps it off. It's like out in Shikoku or something. Yeah, the drum work is beautiful as well. Very delicate. I love the kind of the fact the song has got like a simple beauty to it, but the video has as well. That works so well. Bridge time? Yeah, I love these areas in the Japanese countryside where you can go and they're just so quiet and so you can do something like this. Then again, you can imagine you're doing a take and suddenly a car appears on the horizon. Stop and wait 20 minutes for the car to come by. Wow. Do you know what? I did not expect that to be the ending. That is a song that covered 4.5 minutes. Well, 4 minutes realistically, but it covered that in the blink of an eye. That was stunning. And you know what? I will say, considering it ended on a drone shot, the drone usage was not gratuitous in this. Drones are like the latest thing where every band wants to do like sort of 5,000 drone shots in their music videos. It's like, look, our music video is really professional. Okay, so honestly, and yeah, look at the beautiful setting as well. I have to say, this was not 100% what I expected, but boy, oh boy, was it really beautiful. So the singer's voice, first of all, she's got this wonderful, soulful voice. Reminds me a little bit of like a less growly version of Remy from Glim Spanky. You know, she's got this lovely, soulful tone to her voice that she conveys through like a gentle vibrato at the end of some of the notes, but in a really nice, distinct way. So that came across beautifully already, kind of like a folky kind of soul vibe. But then the music itself was very straight shooting for the best part. Obviously going for a slightly pop rock sound, again with a little bit of an old school, perhaps a bit of a folk rock sound a little bit in there as well. The lead guitar work, very simple, but laying down these beautiful counter melodies that added so much more depth to what was going on. The vocals, apart from just being a great tone, she also had a lovely melody that kind of went up and down and around and moved a little bit and gave you a feeling that the song was staying kind of lively and fresh and not just kind of droning on, as sometimes these more simple chord pattern songs can be left to do by less interesting bands. And the drum work as well, very delicate, very nice, just sort of lovely little gentle fills coming in here and there and rhythm changes. It felt like a song that it had a simplicity which was also very, I like to use the word tangible. It felt like a song where you could really feel the instruments in front of you. You could really hear every last touch of the drum kit, and you could really kind of almost, even on electric guitar, you could really hear the strings moving and bending under each and every one of the fingers. It was a gorgeous sounding song pretty much throughout, tonally as well. But what really helped is that post-chorus bit, as simple as it is, just having the yay, yay. It worked because the song had been kind of flowing along in a simple way, and it just kind of gives a punchy refrain. And sometimes for a song like this, you need a bit that you're building up to, that you're coming around to. And I like the fact that rather than the song just sort of like meandering on and going, oh, this is beautiful, it sort of builds up the chorus, and then it gives you a thing to kind of be excited for. You can imagine being in the audience and you building up, you sing along to the chorus, and everyone's ready, and you get the yay, yay bit coming in. And yeah, I can imagine that being great. So for me, it managed to be more than just a simple, nice kumbaya melody. It had the wonderful singer's voice, it had a recording that was complementary to it, it used the lead guitar to make a nice extra balance, a little bit more thickness by producing a counter melody, and it had that little refrain in the post-chorus that made you want to come around and shout out one thing together with the band, which is always a great thing as well, because again, it just makes you more invested in what you're hearing. So I have to say, for me, this was very charming, much more light and breezy than I expected. I would love to see them with For Leo. That's going to be super interesting. But yeah, really, really one of those sorts of songs that I would recommend to someone who's into good melodic pop rock. It's just very charming, and it, you know, often a lot of the time especially when it comes to simpler songs where there's not a huge amount of technical stuff going on, the main question you really want to ask is, does it convey a feeling? And boy oh boy, this conveys a wonderful nostalgic feeling. It's just a song that feels good. You come out of it feeling satisfied, relaxed. Yeah, I loved it. I think the video as well, what a great idea, what a fantastic shorthand for what you're hearing there. It's simple, it's atmospheric, it uses, in the same way that the song uses like the tones and everything to fill in for where you'd otherwise have complexity. This video has just like this beautiful, simple but very evocative location to make up for where other videos would have like Shibuya crossing and lights and just stuff happening. This is a very still video. I mean, you can tell they've gone to some effort to make sure there's no cars or people in the background or anything. They've gone for the most still look they could, because it's simple and it's about getting the emotion out of just the environment that it's happening in. So I feel like, yeah, the video, again, good shorthand, some good little clever things like when she's singing to herself and stuff like that. But boy oh boy, I enjoyed this. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more of them, as is often the case with bands who I'm just kind of starting to get to know. My excitement is very much located in the part of my brain that wants to hear a bit more variation now, because once you've shown you're good at one thing, if you can show you're good at several things and you can build up a little bit of character in your portfolio, that's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward to hearing what BRAY ME does next, or what songs that I can listen to next that may be a little bit different from this one. Not because I don't like this, but because I want to hear them show what they can do with this very clearly talented group of ladies who have delivered this song to us today. So anyway, as always, get in the comments, tell me what you think. If you're a BRAY ME fan, maybe recommend the next song I should listen to. Recommend something as different as possible. And if I like that, if it's 2 for 2 after 2 opposite songs, then we're going to be in for a very good day. But until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one, at least for your comment or whatever it may be for now. Ciao, ciao.